beautiful people, and welcome to another Galactic Mayan astrology report. Oh, it's all happening at the moment, isn't it? Obviously, I have the launch of the course, which is happening today on the first day of the Wavespell, which is incredibly exciting. But we're also moving through the day out of time, the new year, the Lionsgate portal. You know, there's a lot of cosmic activation happening right now, and what I really would love to encourage you to do is to remember that, to remember the bigger picture, and also to remember the power of conscious awareness. When we lean into these things that are, these gateways essentially that are opening, we've got the opportunity to really upgrade and have really deep connections to source and to reality, the reality that exists behind the human being story. So yeah, I just really want to put that in. I've been in like such a beautiful, playful, like my inner child has been going off it recently. It's just been glitter and playtime galore, which has been amazing. And you know, I can really see and feel that that's what we are, that's how we operate when we're outside of the matrix, essentially. And there's a lot of beautiful potential for this time, and I really encourage you to grid into it. So without further ado, this is an astrology report for the 24th of July 2021, just before the day out of time. I did a video on that a few years ago, so if you don't know what that means, have a look on my channel and find that video. And then also just before the new year, which happens on the 26th of July. And I just recently uploaded a video for that too, so have a little goosey gander at what's coming for the next year. But as always is the way, we've got all of these different layers of time codes that sit upon one another, and the 13-day process that we're moving into now, alongside all of these other portals and happenings, is within the energy of white wind. So white wind energy is about expression. The wind is a white sign, so it is refining, which means that it's here to help us to get clear, here for us to, as we journey with this archetype, it really gives us the opportunity to consciously go from allowing things to remain blurry to bringing them into form. Sometimes it can be really tempting, easy to be like, I don't want to look at that, I'm just gonna like let my eyes glance upon over that thing, whatever that thing is, whether it's a part of ourselves, an aspect of our lives. But within the refining signs, it's like our eyeballs kind of get glued, like, oh right, okay, I have to look at that now. Almost gets magnified, so that we can bring it into clarity, into balance. So yeah, we have this amazing opportunity within the white signs to get clear. So the wind, the energy of the wind, as I say, is about expression. And the thing that really wants to come through is that, you know, we are incredibly influential, all of us, in different ways. And expression is a part of our influence, and it's also a part of our medicine, it's a part of our processing. So let's break that apart. To begin with the piece about the medicine and the expression, the wind being this expressive energy. Now sometimes what can happen, we can go from either sort of suppressing our expression, not allowing ourselves to be seen, not allowing ourselves to be heard, you know, trapping ourselves in a little woo. Or then we can go to the other side of the spectrum, where we express and express and express and express, but from a space of needing something as a result of the expression. It's like we're trying to get something through the expression, trying to fulfill a need, have something external come into us through the expression, validation or whatever. But the point in the middle, that midpoint, is expression for the sake of expression, expression for the sake of connection. So on a medicinal level, if we've got a load of rage running through our body for some reason, which we all have, we've all had experiences that the natural reaction is to experience rage about, or to experience anger, but then the bottled anger becomes rage, and we've all been bottled for generations, so same. But to express rage, now imagine, I was speaking to my friend the other day, and he's got a little girl now, and she was really, really angry because he didn't give her a donut. And she got really, really... And essentially what it made me realise was like, there's something in our self-expression that comes into power dynamics, because if he'd have raged at her, she would have been very, very frightened, but her raging at him didn't bring up the same. I don't know, there's just something in that made me go like, But also this recognition of like, again, because anger and pain has been so suppressed, it's so difficult for us to find the places where it's safe to process it. But this middle point is being able to express without it being at somebody, like without that energy being thrown into somebody's face or field or whatever. So this middle point of the medicinal side of self-expression, this cathartic self-expression, this like, I need to get this energy out. This energy does need to be expressed, and sometimes, with certain emotions, painting a picture is not gonna, or writing a song is not going to allow that energy to move in the same way, because we transform it into beauty a lot of the time, which is an amazing process. But sometimes that raw, guttural energy or despair, whatever it is, whether it's rage or despair, it needs to move and be expressed. And there are practices that we can integrate for our self-expression in the sense of releasing these old emotions. And so there's that piece of the wind, which is about like the expression of these suppressed energies essentially, and allowing them to move in a balanced way, so that we're not releasing the energy, but we're also not screaming at somebody or going into absolutely falling apart and going into a bit of victim with it, so there's this like middle point in that aspect of the self-expression. And I really feel, for this time on the planet, there's a lot to express, and it's so much easier to express through judgment, or to avoid expression through judgment, or to avoid experience through judgment. And I really see that there's just such a strong pattern of judgment everywhere. I'm not devoid of that. It's interesting, isn't it? And then, the judgments, the competitions, all of the different things that come through this self-expression. So the other piece of White Wind is creative expression. It's the expression of spirit, it's the expression of soul, it's the expression of love. So this incredible ability to channel. So really, the big thing within White Wind energy is about the throat. The throat as a chakra, and that not necessarily meaning just vocal expression, but expression in all ways. So this is a really wonderful time to be tuning into creative expression as well. And maybe just to like give yourself a period of time where you can ponder things from, is there anything that I need to express? Is there anything that's trapped inside of me from the past that needs to be expressed, that needs an outlet? And maybe, you know, that can be just going inside and listening to ourselves, like validating ourselves through listening to ourselves, you know, allowing ourselves to unburden whatever we need to express through hearing ourselves. Or as I say, it might be that there's a practice that you can utilise, screaming, shaking, stomping to move energy. Or perhaps there's a space for grief practice, you know, watch a sad film, do something, you know, to trigger grief if you feel that you've got that trapped inside of you. Because in order for us to be able to channel, you know, the light of the sign, light, dark, I don't like that, but the actualized part of the sign of White Wind is about being able to be a clear channel, essentially. Being able to be a clear channel, bringing through what wants to land in the planet through us. And we're all of this. But the shadow, the dark side of White Wind, is essentially when we are full to the brim of these old energies, these old ideas, these old conditionings that have come from our families, from society, our personal experience, the books that we've read, you know, all these different things that, because we are so sensitive, everything that comes in, unless we consciously do something about it, leaves an imprint. So if we've not consciously done things about it, we've got a lot of imprints. So if you imagine it as like a glass of water, well, a glass, you know, if maybe not a glass, let's imagine it as a pipe, but a beautiful glass pipe, not a sewer pipe, beautiful glass pipe. I'm thinking of bong. Don't think of bong, it's just what's part of my old school channel. Glass pipe. If we don't have any conditioning, which we all do, but the less conditioning, the more that water can pass through us, the more that we can channel from the earth, from our hearts, from spirit, from highest aspects, from different dimensional planes. But the more, God, just bringing I'm just bringing, where does it come from? Just bongs are totally in my field right now. So if the bong hasn't been cleaned, you get all of the residue, and so it is with our conditioning. If we've got all of these old things operating, you know, from our pain body, from our experiences of the past, from the things that we've brought into our field, from our families, it's really difficult for us to channel authentic living, because it's not even just about expression, it's about authentic living, you know. So it's about clean your bong. Clean the bong that you are. That is the white wind medicine. Oh, my loves. So I hope that you have a fantastic process of, sitting with and exploring what wants to be expressed through you. What does your life look like if you are operating in integrity? Is that different to now? You know, and the beauty again of like the refining. If there are things that feel unknown, feel into it and make it clearer. It doesn't matter if it changes, if the vision changes, but you know, being able to feel into what is wanting to be expressed through you and lived through you is such a key of this medicine. And then if there are things in the way, express them, clear them, do what you need to do. But if you can clear on a more, it's less like subconscious clearing and more like physical clearing that wants to come through right now. So do physical clearing practices intentionally to start to create the space and clean your bong. And Happy New Year, because the next time that we tune in together, we're going to be in yellow electric city. Cannot wait. It's going to be a fucking epic year. If you've not watched the video on that yet, check it out. Alright, darlings. Oh, so much love.